So a quick question before we get started. Have any of you ever seen this before? Yes, yes, okay. Well, now that we're on the same page. But in all seriousness, plastic straws are a huge problem. There are 500 million produced every day in the US, which is enough to loop around the Earth twice every day, which is huge. And then not only is it just the pure amount of plastic being produced, but the size of straws are a certain shape where it's very hard to recycle them because they go through the machine. And also a lot of them are made from multiple plastics and some of them aren't recyclable. So the straws are very bad. Okay.
So plastic straws have been identified as a major problem, or plastic straw waste has been identified as a major problem by a number of cities across the US and has become the target of legislation. And as you can see, these are some pretty major cities. In California, the state of California is even considering a law that will prohibit restaurants from offering unsolicited plastic straws, similarly to how in certain restaurants they only give you water if you ask for the water. So here were some of the solutions to the problem of plastic straws that we explored. So from left to right, we have glass straws, metal straws, and then here we have biodegradable plastic straws, paper straws, and then bamboo straws. So initially when we started with glass and metal straws, we already eliminated that right off the bat because one, they were too expensive to produce, and they were also extremely difficult to clean. And on the next slide. So after we consulted with a number of local businesses, we concluded that versions of biodegradable straws were not the way to go because, for one, they were not willing to go and pay the premium charge of paying for a paper biodegradable plastic or a bamboo straw, which went from 3 to 5 times the price of normal straws, which led us to our new conclusion.
The best straw is no straw. Okay, so we are a nonprofit that works with restaurants, and we give customers the opportunity to opt out of having straws with their drinks. So when a waiter comes over and says, gives them water, they'll ask, do you want a straw with that? And if they opt out, they will donate that money to our nonprofit, which then pays for beach cleanups and trying to undo all the harm that plastic straws have done. And then we're using the similar model to the grocery bag model started 10 years ago, where local grocery stores big grocery stores would give customers the opportunity to opt out of a plastic bag. Instead, they would add like 10 cents they take away 10 cents from their order, just to incentivize them to use more environmentally friendly options. And obviously that method's working really well now, and there's legislation coming out just banning plastic bags altogether. So we're going to use this, and then also there was a Harvard Business study that came out around 4 years ago that found out that the bring your own bag model actually allowed users to want to treat themselves because they felt that they were doing good with the environment. So they were more likely to buy like a candy bar from the aisle where they're checking out, just spending more for the business, which helps both the business because they're making more money and the environment. So we're hypothesizing that the same thing will be true, where customers who opt out of a plastic straw will be more likely to indulge once in a while on either a more expensive beverage or dessert. And then, so the use of funds that we have, so we predict that if we get 1%, which is like our end goal of plastic straws, that's 500 million, and 1% of that, if we charge each one 1 cent, that's $50,000 per day that we'd be making, that we'd be able to use for funds. So then we would use that for marketing, public education campaigns, and ocean and beach cleanup. And then this is our team. I'm Mark Endo. This is Jaron Fabular, and this is David Kritzik. Our other two members couldn't be here because the flu is rampant right now, but we hope they get better soon.
Okay, so we decided to contact a few local businesses because we wanted to start small. So here's a picture of a few of them. They said they would all be interested in being part of our program once we got the structure finalized. So that was really good for us. So obviously our plans for future growth would be to expand into a larger market with some of the restaurants here. And we especially want to work with restaurants where when you sit down at the table and you get your drink, they put a straw down right next to you. They don't ask you if you want one or if you don't want one. Okay, so thank you guys so much for listening to our presentation, and just remember, it sucks to suck.